What is good, everybody? Welcome to a brand new edition of Boogie and the Bell. Boogie, how are we doing today?
Hey man, we fantastic. We're back for another week of sports content. It's been some interesting stuff going on in the college football realm, the NFL realm, basketball. We in the preseason. There's a lot going on. I'm ready to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. And this gonna be a raw dog episode. Like we're gonna give y'all 40 minutes of just pure heat. We're just firing today. We're not being too technical. We're not being nice. We're not none of this stuff. We got way too much to talk about, and I'm gonna cut us off at 40 minutes. This video might just cut off at 40 minutes. So get what you get while you hear Boogie. We getting right into it. Let's start with this. The Eagles versus the Giants. The Super Bowl defending Eagles versus the Giants. NFC East competition. Boogie, Cam Scatterboo versus the Eagles. How you feel?
Cam Scatterboo in general, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this dude. Like, he's actually real life crazy. Like, he is 5'9", running through people's faces in the NFL like it's nothing. Huge fan of him. Obviously tough to tackle, tough to deal with, high energy guy. I saw a video of him in college, man, where he's slamming his head into a wall and somebody was like, he's calibrating the CTE. Like, it's kind of like, it's crazy. But yeah, Cam Scatterboo, hell of a day on Thursday against the Eagles, which on paper, really, really good defense. But he ran through them. He made Zach Bond look like a high schooler the way he ran through him.
Which is crazy because I'm a fan of Zach Bond, but I feel like Cam Scatterboo, like when he was born with a concussion. Like they grabbed him as soon as he was born and said, wham! And ever since then, he been a dog. Ever since then, I feel like they got him out the womb. That's why he's tough. I thought his brain's built for this shit. His body's built for this shit. Hey, more importantly, he's built for this shit. With that being said, I do want everybody to understand that the Giants suck. The Giants are not a good team. The Giants will not do anything impressive this year besides being a new, fresh place with new, fresh faces. Jackson Dart, good, solid game. You're not doing nothing special. I'm not a Jackson Dart hater. I'm just saying you're not doing nothing special yet. Keep doing what you're doing, though, because it's going to turn out to be a very, very good rookie season. Cam Scatterboo, the team MVP, got Abdul Carter beat. Like, that's crazy. You know, like you got him beat already. Fan favorite, awesome. Keep going. On the flip side, I just got something quick to say about the Philadelphia Eagles. One thing that I respect most about this team is Jalen Hurts' ability to not get too excited about wins, to not get too depressed about losses. I hope that he's set a level of leadership on the team for everybody else to feel the same way, because we've been in positions where people wanted to fire this coach, ended up winning a Super Bowl. People didn't think he was a starting quarterback, ended up winning a Super Bowl. Oh, he can't pass more than 20 yards, and then he could throw for 300. Oh, he can't do this. He can't do that. They can't reestablish the run. I hope everybody could look at their quarterback and understand we could take a deep breath. We'll see where the season ends. Let's talk after the season's over, and I guarantee you we'll still be on top. I don't got no worries about the Eagles. Giants, good at home win.
The thing with the Eagles, man, I feel like right now they have major identity issues. I feel like they're still trying to figure out themselves on the offensive side of the ball. And you know, last year they were, hey, run the ball heavy, Jalen Hurts, throw when you need to, Saquon Barkley, take it away. Right now they're getting away from that a little bit. I did see this analogy that I thought was interesting, and someone said that Jalen Hurts, the start of his career is somewhat similar to the start of Russell Wilson's career. Not drafted necessarily to be the franchise guy, gets his opportunity, does very well, goes to 2 Super Bowls, wins 1. In those Super Bowl seasons, he's led by a very strong defense, very strong run game, but over time, the production drops off. People start to think he's corny. You know, I'm not saying he's going on that track, but I see a lot of similarities between him and early Russell Wilson. I hope the end or how it goes is better, but it's something to keep an eye out.
The only reason I could care less about how it ends and if it does end like Russell Wilson's a Super Bowl winning champion. He also led a great Seahawks team. It didn't turn into a dynasty. Maybe if they would have won 2 or 3 Super Bowls, it would have been. I don't see the problem with that statement. The problem I see is that he falls off. Yes, the team can decline with all the help he has as far as having a good team. But one thing about a winner is going to continue to win. And I do see him doing what Russ didn't. I see him doing what Tom Brady as a winner would do, which is you take a salary reduction. You do what's in the best interest of your team being the best. I don't think
he ain't taking no salary reduction, man.
But yes, he is.
He ain't taking a.
But guess what? Where is Jalen Hurts going to get the money from outside of the Eagles organization. Because come contract time in 3 years, unless he just completely wets the bed, he's going to be at the highest level. He is going to be at the highest level and demand his money. And I don't think he's going to get it from the rest of the league. But I think he will end up getting paid less with the Eagles to retain a good, solid team, process, and system around him. I have no worries about Jalen Hurts, not even a little bit, like not even a fraction. But with that being said, no, I don't have a worry. You really worry about them? They've done it. They've done this every single year he's been in the league, by the way.
Every year?
Last year, we had issues with him throwing the ball down the field, him making accurate passes, his slow pace, and people complaining about the tush push. It's been 3 years we've been complaining about that shit. It's been 4 years we've been complaining about his career. It's been 5 years he's been in the league. That's how I feel.
I'm not saying this point of worry. Certainly not point of worry. Obviously, he's still a good quarterback. Obviously, they're still going to be a good football team this season and most likely in the future. But when you start to see a team that just reached the peak, a prime, they had a dominating season, dominating Super Bowl win over the Kansas City Chiefs, and now they're bouncing back. And yeah, they were 4-0. But they kind of got lucky at some points, and you lose one to the Broncos. Okay, tough game. You lose sometimes. Then you get blown out by the Giants.
Blown out is a strong word.
34-17 isn't a blowout.
Yes,
but especially when you're like a 10-point favorite, favorite getting dog walked. You got 5'9". Cam Scatterbull was my height, and he is running through people on the Eagles. And you don't think that's a blowout?
Well, if you watch the game in context, there was a time period in the third quarter where you kind of felt the Eagles just lose all their motivation to win this game, which they still had opportunities to win this game. I promise you. You got to remember.
So
the score was 17 in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter. We're talking about a 17-20 game.
I see it. No, it was close in the first half, and then second half, what happened? They got their face ran through. That's what happened in the second half.
Yes, they did. When your linebacker core and all your DBs just flat out give up, that was very sad to see. I will agree. Like when Singletary, or is it Singleton or Singletary?
Singletary.
Who did he used to play for? Was he on the Bills?
He was on the Bills for a little bit.
Damn, I remember him on the Bills for sure. He got in late in the game and just did what he wanted as well. I didn't like they gave up. They gave up. I don't think Jalen Hurts ever gave up. Like I said, Jalen Hurts is the exact same person when he wins as when he loses. It's until the Super Bowl. When I see this game, I have no worries, because the people that are going to be worried are the Giants at the end of the season. How do we develop and make this a playoff team? The Eagles, they're going to have one goal in mind, and that's to make this deep playoff run and either win and lose in an NFC championship or in a Super Bowl. I have zero worries about the way their team's constructed now. I do want them to kind of figure out the Saquon thing. Jalen Hurts is not the issue. Is Jalen Hurts the issue?
I mean, you look at Jalen Hurts, right?
It's a team sport.
It is a team sport. Obviously, their defense is the one that gave up 34 points, so red flag on defense. But Jalen Hurts, it's just something. It's weird. It's very weird, because we've seen him have elite passer days. We have seen him do it. He diced up the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He diced them up. That was amazing. But it's something weird where it's like I don't want to say it's borderline inconsistent, but it's like, where is this great version of Jalen Hurts when sometimes we get this like C+, B- level Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts needs to focus on winning and doing what's best to win. This is a 4-2 team, and they've already beat the higher level competition in this league. Nah, they beat some. Like the Chiefs are kind of fall off, and they're having a good season to me. I'm not worried about this team. I do think they need to balance out the run situation versus the pass situation. On paper, I'm not mad with AJ Brown getting 6 receptions, 80 yards for the rest of the season. I don't know who Dallas Goedert is for the most part, but 9 receptions for 110 yards. He's not our check down. His number is number 88.
I'm about to say he's a solid tight end. He's been their tight end for years.
I just off the top of the dizzy. But Devontae Smith, if Devontae Smith or AJ Brown switches numbers with him, and while Devontae Smith has 4 receptions for 49 yards, I'm not mad at this passing day. 24 of 33, 283 yards, 1 awkwardly ran 5-play touchdown, and 1 passing touchdown. They lost the football game. Jalen Hurts is the truth. Is he Lamar Jackson? Hell no.
They got smacked.
Is it Josh Allen? Hell no. Is he Patrick Mahomes? Hell no. Is he a winner amongst all those guys besides Patrick Mahomes? Hell yeah. Like, that's it. Is Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo got a long way to go before they get to the level of a Jalen Hurts and a Saquon Barkley. Trust me, I trust those guys to figure it out this season way before I trust the guys who are young, fresh, and brand new to the game. And guess what? For Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo, you guys blew out an NFC rival. Guess what? Everybody's going to be keying in on you next week. Now you get to face the pressure of a Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, or let's say a Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. It's just 1 week. That's all I'm saying. And blown out is a strong word.
Scatterboo. That's a strong word right there. That's a strong word.
All right, man. This is another one we got a long time with, and we're already at 12. So we have the Broncos versus the Jets. El Boogie, how do you feel about NFL London? We got one more NFL overseas game. Good. I'm glad that the Broncos didn't waste a home game on it, but it's not like the Jets be having the stadium popping too much. El Boogie, the Broncos beat the Jets 13-11. How'd you feel, Bo?
I felt great about the defense. Obviously, defense had a very disruptive day. I think they had 7 or 8 sacks again. Really good at getting at the quarterback. Yeah, so I felt good about defense, but defense is the only reason why we won this game. Aside from 1 or 2 drives, our offense struggled a lot. I think a lot of it comes down to play calling. Sometimes I question Sean Payton's play calling and all the screens when, it's 2nd and 4. Can we just run the ball inside twice? Why does it have to be a wide receiver screen and then a running back screen? Like, I understand that's his style of coaching, and when it works, cool. But sometimes you kind of need to stick to the basics and execute. Also, the Broncos O-line didn't have a great day today. You could tell they were missing Ben Powers, who they put on IR, and hoping we get him back in December. But yeah, we need better offense as we play against better competition. But defense held it down.
Yeah, the big notes I have from this game is I'm not sold on Bo Nix 1,000%, but I think he does his job. I think he listens to his coach. I think he makes bad decisions, but what quarterback doesn't? And I think he makes more good decisions than bad ones. So I have no problem with Bo Nix as our quarterback. I don't like having, let's say, 1 to 4 targets and only 1 target getting to Courtland Sutton. I'm not sure if he was a little hurt out there. I'm not sure if whatever happened today for him not to be schemed as much down the field or even just to get him going. I think the key to winning any game is just to get him going. Just like, all these special plays for like a Marvin Mims or Marvin Mims having like a good, like there's just certain things that Martin Mims does to get the whole team going. Courtland Sutton should be the star receiver that gets your entire offense going. And J.K. Dobbins, shout out to J.K. Dobbins, he'll either have a run, rush, check down that just gets the offense going. You know what I mean? Like, or a screen that just kind of gets everybody going. If Courtland Sutton doesn't get going as a 6'5" receiver who's pretty dominant with the catching and catching over or deep field, or that's what he specializes in, then I don't see too many wins. We have 1 catch for 17 yards. I don't know why that's not 4 catches for at least 50. I like to see Courtland Sutton. I don't know. I don't remember 5 missed targets and 1 catch. So let's say he only got 3 targets today. That's unacceptable to me. If he gets a couple more targets, this is a 20-11 game. And it's much less close at the end. That's what I kind of took from the offense. As far as the defense, let's shine a light on the guy. And you know what? Hufanga, you are a nickel linebacker. You should just be a middle linebacker. I don't know why safety. Like, I'm starting to look at Hufanga and realize he's not even undersized. Like, he is a linebacker size. That's a big dude. Like, if his goal is to bang down there anyways, I think that's what he should focus on. He's strong as shit, too. There's a point where there's a catch that was Olin's made, and he just slapped his arm, and the ball just flew out. I'm like, yeah, Hufunga's that guy. But more importantly than that, Nick Bonito, another 3 sacks. Crazy work. I think 2.5, either 2.5 or 3, but I you know how they calculate them differently. Him and Zero, my guy Jonathan Cooper. This is like Von Miller and what's his name?
DeMarcus Ware.
Man, that was a time to be alive. Do you remember that? Like, do you remember the domination that you felt? And don't get it twisted. Zach Allen's doing his job. He clutters all that shit up. He has productive days. He has productive games. If you notice, he is a factor on the defensive line. I love the Broncos defensive line. That is elite defensive play. That is every single defensive coordinator's dream. So I just want to say shout out to them because I've never seen nothing like that. And we got a white corner. There was a couple plays where Patrick Surtain just completely shut out Garrett Wilson, so that was pretty cool to see. I'm very excited about this defense. This defense shows up week in and week out. They've had some shaky moments with some developed offenses or offenses that develop like the Colts. I got nothing but good things to say about the defense. I don't think the offense. I think the offense has the right to have off days, but when you look at that stat sheet and be like, "Damn, Courtland Sutton had one catch for 17 yards." Whatever that was successful for him to have one catch at 17 yards, we could have replicate at least 3 times in a game, even at risk of an interception. Like whatever we got to do to get him 17 times 3 is more important than almost losing a game 13-11. That's all I got. All right. We're going to blitz through some games. El Boogie, we're going to do something new because, like I said, we raw dogging this one. I'm going to go, and you stop me. I got the Seahawks beating the Jaguars 20-12. Or we could go back. I got the Chargers beating the Dolphins 29-27. Shout out to Tua trying to come back at the end. I got the Rams beating the Ravens 17-3. Is Lamar still out?
Yep, still out.
I want to stop. Derrick Anthony Henry. So I don't know if that's his middle name. Derrick Henry, you did save your job. With that being said, we need that level of running production the moment Lamar Jackson comes back. And y'all are good. You guys will be the team that goes on that 7-game win streak to make the playoffs. Go ahead.
See, the thing you got to look at, though, is, he produced over 100 yards, but he had 24 carries. You look at the last 3-4 games, he hadn't eclipsed, I think he's had less than 12 carries in all 3 of the last 3 games. So I think they're leaning on him more, obviously, because Lamar is out and Cooper Rush is not good. So they have to run the ball more. So and there's the production. But when you're not using him like they haven't been, that's why his stats haven't looked so good. So I think that's more on the coaching staff at the Ravens to stick with the run game and give him these same opportunities to be Derrick Henry.
And if the Rams didn't level up their play and Lamar Jackson plays in the game, the score goes from 17-3 to 29-17. And that's kind of my point with saying it saved it. I want Derrick Henry to get 24 rushes if his body's capable of doing it. Of course, I don't want him to be overworked or anything like that. But I want him to get 24 carries because with 24 carries, he could produce 122 yards. If it's getting into the end zone that's trouble, then that's when you have who? Lamar Jackson to get inside the end zone. So that's all I'm saying is I like Derrick Henry running between the tackles, getting 8 to 12 yards, being as strong as he is. I'm sure he has more bone density. That's why he doesn't have as many knick-knack injuries as a lot of running backs running between the tackles. He's built for that. Let's get back into that motion. Cooper Rush, it looks like you didn't have to do too much, but it looks like you did nothing. And that's why you guys lost 17-3. 11 of 19, 72 yards and 1 interception. That's piss poor in the NFL. I don't think the LA Rams have this elite defense. With that being said, you're not even helping your team compete. So if everybody's just preparing for Lamar's return, make sure you're ready for Lamar. Hopefully Lamar returns healthy. But I just want Lamar Jackson to play football, man. And if it gets too out of hand, then shit, don't this year. Stop me when you can. I had the Cardinal. And then going back to the Jaguars, I just want to look at Travis Hunter's stats. Brian Thompson is officially receiver 1.
Yeah, but that touchdown he scored, it was like a 25-yard touchdown, but it wasn't Brian Thomas Jr. being amazing. It wasn't Trevor Lawrence making a great throw. It was the Seattle Seahawks having a completely blown coverage. Like, completely blown. Like, he was wide open and just walked into the end zone.
Damn, did Travis Hunter not get a target?
4 catches, 15 yards. Nothing crazy.
Why can't I see that? Oh, because I'm looking at the Seahawks. I'm like, what the hell? All right. Yeah, just checking on you, Travis. It's okay. You're going to lose. You're going to win. You guys aren't the best team, but you're not the worst. The Seahawks are a good team. All right. I really don't even want to say this one out loud. I got the... Ooh, what week are we in? All right. I got the Cardinals versus the Colts. Shout out the Colts, man. Let's look at some stats, El Boogie. Did you get anything? Oh, yeah, I heard about Jacoby Brissett. Tony Romo's so crazy. I think it was Tony Romo, but he was talking about, Jacoby Brissett's ability to be a backup quarterback is very elite. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, that doesn't mean shit. Like, nobody's taking pride in that. But I did respect it a little bit because what he's saying is to have somebody on your bench who could come in and actually produce at that high of a level. But 320 yards off the bench, insane. And not like an extremely passing offense. You know, they let Kyler Murray kind of run an offense based off of, you know, structured for him. Kobe Brissett plugged right in. 320 yards, 27 of 44, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's fire. Out of your backup quarterback, look at all these backup quarterbacks that we have out there right now, besides Mac Jones. We'll get to Mac Jones. Mac Jones doing his thing. This is fire. On the other side, Daniel Jones, another win under his belt. My MVP, back in my MVP league. The first Daniel Jones. 22 of 30, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. No, my real MVP is Jonathan Taylor. 21 carries, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. This looks like a game that when Lamar Jackson comes back, I want them to have these type of games consistently. But obviously, the Colts have figured it out this year in the AFC. They are going to win their division. Even if injuries or anything comes about, I feel like they've built a system and process that works this year, which they did it kind of on the fly. This was not their starting quarterback. We didn't know how Jonathan Taylor was going to come out this year. This is looking like an MVP season for Jonathan Taylor, from my perspective. Consistency like a mug. How you feel? Do you got anything from this one? Oh, Kyler, or I don't know. I like this game. This is a good one. This was revealing.
Man, Indiana Jones strikes again, man. It's really crazy to see the turnaround that happens when you put somebody in the right system. But the Colts overall, they're a good football team. They have a good roster. It's crazy. I think I heard their starting corner, he got a concussion during pregame warm-ups, so
That's
he did not play. So the Colts were down their starting corner and still pulled this off. So that's impressive, I guess. But yeah, solid game. It was kind of down to the last couple minutes. It was pretty good and pretty fun to watch. I will challenge you on the MVP take though. Not that I don't think Jonathan Taylor is good.
We got on
I think
MVP.
MVP.
Okay,
let's
just go.
I'll say Jonathan Taylor.
Nick Bonito's the NFL's MVP right now.
Jonathan Taylor
by a long shot.
Jonathan Taylor is certainly in the offensive player of the year conversation. 100%. 100%.
But who's
MVP,
close?
Huh?
Who's close to Jonathan Taylor in offense?
Close to Jonathan Taylor.
Not Garrett Wilson no more.
I'm really hot on Emeka Egbuka. I'm really hot on Christian McCaffrey. Not saying he's ahead of Taylor, but he is having a really solid season. With the amount of touches and production he's been getting, it's been good to see.
Jonathan
offensively,
Taylor's playing elite.
Like I said, I think he is offensive player of the year, for sure. But MVP, I got Baker. Baker's my MVP right now.
See, right now I have Jonathan Taylor. I would have Baker somewhere in my 2 or 3. I'll have Puka somewhere in my 5. And off the top of the head, Christian's
Puka,
in my 10.
Puka.
Yeah, Puka's up there. Puka's in my top 5.
Puka, yeah.
But Jonathan Taylor's my 1, 2. Baker's in my 2 to 3, 4 range. Daniel Jones is actually in my top 10, believe it or not.
That's not a crazy take. That's not
or
crazy.
Sam Darnold.
They're cooking. They're that's not crazy to
for
say.
The top 10. I'm not I ain't going to cap. The boys is doing their thing. But shit, my rookie of the year could be Cam Scatterboo. I don't know.
Cam Scatterboo.
He really could be, and I hope he does get that award if he does continue to do this. I mean, jersey sales and everything like that. Come on, Cam is, he's doing his thing. All right. Ooh, well, we got stopped. Hell Boogie. Ooh, we got 2 good stops coming up. The Cowboys versus the Panthers. I got by the Cowboys today. El Boogie, ask me how.
What happened? What went down?
So the score is 27 to 20. Oh no, excuse me. The score is 20 to 24. The Panthers, I believe, get a field goal. No. I think it's 20 to 24 or whatever. Something happens. And I'm like, what? The betting odds are plus 200 Cowboys. Do they really think the Cowboys are going to lose this game against the Panthers at the Panthers? I said $20 to make 60? Hell yeah. So I put $20 into these Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to FanDuel. You guys robbed me you guys did not rob me. I just made a disgusting decision without thinking. Of course, the Cowboys do exactly what the Cowboys do, El Boogie. They come back, they fight. Great game, by the way. Amazing game, especially for the Panthers and the Panthers' morale. And they ended up winning by a field goal because the Cowboys just decided to shit the bed on their last drive. Outside of that, let's get into some stats. Dak Prescott, 25, 34, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. Versus a Bryce Young, 199 yards, 17 to 25, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. El Boogie, 30 to 27. Did you have any sauce on this game as well?
Man, shout out to the Panthers, man. I think overall they had just a solid team win in this game. I mean, their defense made stops when they needed it most, especially down the stretch when the game was tied for most of the fourth quarter and either team could have taken the lead. The Carolina defense came up with some really good stops. overall, they shut down the run game. I feel like that was the biggest difference between the two teams is the Panthers had a lot of success running the ball with Rico Dowdle in his revenge game against the Cowboys. But on the other side, the Cowboys, they could not get anything going on the ground. Javonte Williams had his worst game of the season. Yeah, that Panthers defense was determined today. And Bryce Young, not a perfect game, but Bryce Young made the throws. He made the plays when he needed to make the plays. So happy to see him get this win. Also, it feels weird to see the Panthers at 500 right now. Like that just feels
Really?
weird. They're 3-3. That just seems weird, but they are. So good for the Panthers. Cowboys, again, a tough loss. Shout out George Pickens. George Pickens has been cooking while CD's been out. Happy for him because I think he's really showing that he is a top receiver in this league.
Yeah, and I actually just had the game up right here, watching game day. But man, these fools on lost the game that they should probably definitely win, knowing that they're 2-2-1, and now they're 2-3-1, and we're right back to saying that the Cowboys suck. So I don't
The
know. The
Cowboys
Cowboys
still
are
suck. My
stupid.
thing is, I don't think the Cowboys suck though. Like honestly, I really don't think that they are. I don't think
Yeah,
they're a
but
bad
I
football
didn't think
team.
that the Ravens sucked either. And I'm talking about before Lamar Jackson's injury 2 weeks ago. But the reality is that they do. You know why? Because they're not in position where we're scared about the playoffs, but they're 3 losses away from us considering it. If they lose 3 more games within the next 6, they can't go 3-3. They can't start this season 5-6. That's not a recipe to win when the final stretch. So this is how the NFL set up right now. Since we're at 17 games, the final stretch of your season is week 10 to the end of the season. Whatever you do after week 10 is going to determine how far you make it into the playoffs or if you will even make it into the playoffs. They're already setting themselves up with a tie to not make it there. I don't think that it looks good right now. It's actually looking really, really bad if you ask me. So I
I
don't
mean,
know. It's just a rough start to the
keep it
season
in.
knowing that you ended up with a tie. I don't think that the
But
NFC, what are they? The NFC East is
yeah,
spectacular, but I think the Eagles are going to have the best record, and I think the Giants are making a better case for a playoff run
I mean, keep it
early.
in perspective though. Keep it in perspective. The Cowboys they have lost 2 games close. They lost to the Eagles close by only 4 points in week 1, and they tied against the Packers. You have 1 or 2 plays go differently in those 2 games, they could be at 4-2 right now. So it's you know what I mean? It's yeah, they're not coming up and winning the games, but they're right there. Like they could go
Yeah.
on they could go on a 6-game heater and just win. I haven't looked at their schedule, so I don't know who they have coming up. But hypothetically, they could, and we wouldn't be surprised seeing the offensive production that they've had throughout the season so far. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying they're a bad team. I think they're still alive, still in contention. They could still be a playoff team.
Yeah. It's
Just
the fucking Cowboys. All right, man. Moving on. I should have left Baker up here cooking, but who ended up winning that game? Damn, the Bucks. No, they didn't whoop
The
them.
Bucks
See,
won.
it's not
The
fair.
Bucks
You
won.
can't say that that's a blowout. 30-19. Like they lost. And Sanford. I'm not gonna say her.
Listen.
Wow.
Cam Scatterboo ran through their face. They got blown out.
Yeah, the defense. Yeah, that was piss poor. I didn't. That was not a good look. All right. There was one that was gonna stop us. This is about. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, well, Patriots versus Saints. The Patriots win. I like the Patriots. I'm not going to say the Patriots are back, but I like the Patriots. Shout out Drake May, 18-26, 261, 3 touchdowns. That's very productive. He's been productive. Love to see Drake May. Oh, I thought that said a totally different number. Only 9 carries for 28 yards. I thought that was a different number. Kayshon Boutte. 5 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, an average of 18 each. Looks like he had a productive day. Shout out to Stephon Diggs taking a leadership role, especially with so much other media attention. That shit's kind of lit. So I'm like, he's obviously handling the pressure of everything good. Not too productive of a day, but he seems like he's a leader out there. It seems like they fuck with him. So I'm like, I like it. If you guys like it, I love it. So I don't know. I've never been a Patriots fan, but the Patriots are being productive in the NFL.
I think they're turning it around. I think they're almost. I think they're on the trajectory that the Broncos were on last year. Right, team that hadn't made the playoffs in a while. You know, they get their quarterback in position. He's playing pretty well, pretty solid. Defense playing pretty solid as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if come January they're a six or 7th seed.
I think it's going to be an interesting race in the AFC. Obviously, I think the Chargers are starting to show their true colors as far as not being like as elite of a team as they started. We'll see
That's
because
not fair.
they still only
They're
have.
hurt.
Yes.
They're very
So we'll
hurt.
see. I think there's going to be an interesting race between. I have to respect the Chiefs and say the Chiefs because it looks like the Broncos and Chargers might be at the forefront. But let's say the Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Texans, Colts. Like, there's only so many playoff spots. I think there's going to be 3 that aren't division winners. That's not a lot of playoff spots, but I like the idea of who are we? I like the idea of the Patriots taking one of those spots because we know they're not going to be outbeat the Bills, maybe, but we know they're not going to outdo the Bills as far as game in and game out to the end of the season. I don't see them taking the division at all. I'm very interested to see if they barely miss the playoffs or if they, because think about it. If Lamar Jackson comes back, I have him over anybody to make an extreme comeback, kind of how Joe Burrow almost did last year. You know what I mean? It's going to
Yeah,
be an
but
interesting race to the end. That's all I'm saying. I think that the
I
AFC
mean, they're
West or the AFC East is going to have 3 teams in the playoffs.
the Ravens have a tough go of it though. Well, I don't know. They have some winnable games, but it's like even if Lamar is able to come back, if he comes back to a 1-6, 1-7, or 2-6 team, I don't know if he can dig them out of that hole.
He get him out of that hole. Because I mean, the cool part about the
They don't have
AFC,
they don't have a ton of easy games left. I mean, they have the Dolphins, they could win that. The Bears, they could probably win. The Jets, they could win that. But every other game is against potential playoff teams.
so the AFC playoffs is looking crazy already because I'm just like, I could see the Jaguars still missing. I could see the Texans taking over the Jaguars. I could see the Broncos making it. I could see the Chargers or the Chiefs missing the playoffs, which sounds insane. I think the Patriots might be a little safe this year. I don't see the Bengals coming back. The Ravens I see coming back way more, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it's way too early for that. Week 10. We got about 4 minutes. God dang it. All right, let's get to it. All right, I do want to hear your opinion on this one, Tup. We got the Browns versus the Steelers. But yeah, I didn't see any. Oh, no, I thought it was up on game day. I didn't see any highlights or anything from this game. What ended up happening?
I watched a good amount. I think most of the first half of this game. Yeah, the Browns could not get anything going on offense.
Okay.
I'm not going to poo poo on Dylan Gabriel. I just don't think that team around him is that good. Just honestly, they couldn't run the ball today. Nothing was easy. I mean, maybe credit to the Steelers defense for making things tough for Dylan Gabriel. But yeah, I think honestly the Browns could not get anything going on offense. Steelers didn't play amazing, but again, they play when your defense is playing pretty well. You don't need to be amazing on offense. So offense just kept pace. Aaron Rodgers made a couple good throws. He's got a good connection with DK, and that was kind of the game.
Yeah, I'm watching these highlights right here. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on Dylan Gabriel because I don't think it's fair after 2 weeks of starting. It looks like he connected on passes,
He threw the ball 52 times.
which is kind of insane.
That's crazy.
Because is their run game that unproductive, or were they
Well,
getting first downs? Like, I don't see how. It sounds like he just got every 3rd and 10. He won it and only got
the
10 yards.
past the past couple weeks, they had been having some success with Quinshon Judkins running the ball on the ground. He had 2 games with 100+ yards, but yeah, not today. It just wasn't there.
Does he throw the ball away? Because why aren't out of how many is that? 21? 21.
23
23
incompletions.
passes are incomplete. Not
Fair.
one interception.
Now, I did see a couple drops. I think Jerry Jeudy
Okay.
had 2 or 3 drops. Then just, I think it's credit to the Steelers defense. They had a couple good pass breakups that, made a good play on the ball. So
I like how they trust him so much to do that. I like how Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be a superstar. Isn't that weird? Like, he hasn't had to be a superstar. He has to be Aaron Rodgers could be considered a game manager. Like that Tom Brady style game management.
at this point of his career, I think so, because
He's
like
doing
to your
some good
point,
shit.
he doesn't need to be a difference maker. I think the reason why he's making this team or putting this team in position to win is because he's able to make those good decisions. There were a lot of times when he was under pressure because the Browns have a really good pass rush and he got rid of the ball, he dumped the ball off, he threw it in the dirt when he needed to throw it in the dirt. Like, he just made the right decisions to not lose the team the game. And I think that's just going to be their recipe. Strong defense, offense, don't lose us the game. Get us 20 points and we'll do the rest on defense.
Makes no sense to me. I don't know. I'm not ready to see Shador yet. Give Dylan Gabriel his chance. That's the 3rd round pick. He deserves it. When it does come time, when I say it's time to see Shador, I feel like everybody will be extremely ready for that. And Shador is not the backup quarterback, right? He wasn't.
No, he is.
Okay.
He is the backup. He is. They did sign Bailey Zappi to be their third string guy, and I guess they could do something crazy and make him the backup, which would just be messed up. But Shador is the backup.
Who's taking the PATs? Did Shador ever take the PAT?
No.
Okay. All right. Titans versus Raiders. Raiders, congratulations. Let's see what you did. Geno Smith, that's still bad, bro. That's tough. I want him benched. Ashton Jetsy, 23 carries, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Very productive. Very, very productive, it seems like.
Very productive. 3 yards a carry.
This team
3
sucks.
yards a carry. No. The team does suck. The team does suck.
They are horrible. Very productive.
They're not good. I would not say very productive. The thing is, I watched.
Do you know how many of these yards he gets after his first contact?
Did you watch the game? I watched the first quarter.
What happened?
He looked. In the first drive, they gave him the ball, I think, 7 times. And granted, I think 4 of those runs were pretty good, but the rest are just, get it, he's tackled. Get it, he's tackled. Get it, he's tackled. You know what I mean? It's just kind of.
So they suck this bad. He still got 75 yards on 23 very tough carries and still got a rushing touchdown, and they were able to win against a sorry team. I think that's fair enough to say he had a productive day. Do you want me to compare his stats to Geno Smith?
Why would you compare a running back stats to a quarterback?
Based off
Geno
of
Smith is
production.
bad. Geno Smith is bad. I'm not arguing against that. I do agree.
Now, if you told me Gentry
but
fumbled, then I'll shut up. I'll be like, oh, wow, then, yeah, the stats lie. But no, I see 23, 75, 1 touchdown from a run between the tackle, tiny guy who's tough enough to do it, compared to 17 to 23, smaller. 17 of. I don't think Gentry's 6 foot.
Gentry is 6 feet tall.
He's like 5'10".
Oh, never mind. He's 5'10".
Yeah, he's a small guy. He's small.
He and Cam Scatterbo are almost the same size. That's kind of crazy.
Cam Scatterbo is a little firecracker. You think Cam Scatterbo is big?
No, I know he's short. I know that.
You know, he has the muscles and everything, but compared to Abdul Carter, compared to Myles Garrett, compared to Derrick Henry, there's some big humans out there. Compared to like probably Saquon Barkley's actual size or Jalen Hurts' actual size, these guys are. I mean, yeah, come on now. J.K. Dobbins is a small guy though. Like he's small, he's big, he's buff, he's probably strong. He probably bench presses a lot of what a lot of guys in the leagues do. But I mean, when you're a smaller frame, getting hit out there. Shout out to Cam Scatterbo's red wall in college. All right, wrapping up NFL, we had the 49ers. Let's see. We had the Buccaneers beat the 49ers in what seemed like a pretty solid game, but Buccaneers should take this one down in Tampa, 30-19. Do you got anything with this one? Looks like Mac Jones had a good day in the air besides throwing. No, he had a good day passing in yards, but it looks like 2 interceptions with 0 touchdowns isn't the most productive thing. Christian McCaffrey with a productive day.
Christian McCaffrey, 24 touches, which is insane. But yeah, overall, this game is really 2 things. 1, Baker Mayfield, my MVP front runner. He was amazing today. He was amazing. They lost Emeka Egbuka early in the game, so now he's throwing to wide receiver 4, 5, and 6. And then what does he do? He throws a dot like a fucking laser to Tez Johnson, their rookie, like 5th or 6th round pick. Like, he was electric, running through, breaking tackles, scrambling for first downs. Baker is him. And then I'll give credit to the Buccaneers head coach. He put up a defensive scheme that confused Mac Jones today. A lot of shell coverages, a lot of disguising coverages, and that's what coaxed Mac Jones into throwing those 2 interceptions. So yeah, their defense played solid. Offense, of course, with Baker was solid. The Niners had a chance. They had a chance down the stretch to try to win or make a comeback, but it just didn't work out. But overall, good game.
Shout out to Baker. I want to have this conversation in like less than 2 minutes. Is there a trend going on in the NFL where we're giving up too early on our rookie drafted quarterback within the first 3 rounds? Do you think that
Absolutely.
That's a trend, or do you think that is a natural occurrence of having to grow and develop as a quarterback in the National Football League?
I think we give up on quarterbacks too early. And really what it is, and you see all the quarterbacks that are having resurgences, one thing that they all have in common is they went to an offensive guru or a quarterback guru, and then they got better. Like, you see Mac Jones under Kyle Shanahan, cool. Baker Mayfield, before he went to Tampa, where did he go? He went to Sean McVay and the Rams for a couple games. That made the difference for him. Sam Darnold, he went to Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. So I think quarterbacks, obviously you have your stars, right? Your Patrick Mahomes, your Lamar Jackson. We think they're going to be great kind of regardless. But some quarterbacks who have the potential but just maybe aren't there as rookies, they need to go to somebody who's a guru, somebody a quarterback whisperer. They need to go there to be successful. And when they do, they can be.
Yeah, I think it's twofold, and that's why I wanted to ask, and I was gonna rebuttal on the opposite of however you answered. My rebuttal is you know who's the best example of why it might not necessarily be true, and these guys are just anomalies. And it's not necessarily that they're anomalies; it's just not gonna work for everybody. Because what does the name Paxton Lynch mean to you? You get what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going with it?
Well, okay, I
There's
see
so
where
many
you're going.
quarterbacks. If we go back the past, let's say 6-7 years, which I'm really happy for Mac Jones. Mac Jones was literally the definition of a Paxton Lynch. What's the guy for we traded to the Seattle? What was his name? Remember, little white boy. What was his name? He went to
Drew Lock. Drew
Drew
Lock.
Lock. So there's these characters who they come and go, and you're just like, damn, I do kind of remember him, and I do remember he could have been the future, and I remember he was highly recruited, and I remember he was a boss in college, and you know what I mean. And
But
there's
was
just
he
so many
though?
people. Well, how check this out. My point is Baker Mayfield, legend, right? Johnny Manziel, legend. But opportunity, chances, focus, grit, grind, going through the rut, it just ended up looking different. People could say that they're two of the same thing, but in reality, there's a
Yeah,
reason why
but
Baker was able to convert over. I'm not
but
saying
Johnny
that
had a lot.
Baker parties as
Johnny,
hard as Johnny.
I was about to say Johnny had a lot of other issues
I
that
think Paxton Lynch did
contributed.
too. It was one of those guys. Oh, Quinn. What was the guy's name? The guy who was like drunk and woke up in a cowboy suit in somebody's house. It was like Brady Quinn.
I know exactly what was his name. I remember because he went to that Last Chance University
Yeah.
school. Dang, I can't remember. But he played for the Broncos, right? That's passing. What was his name? Chad Kelly.
Yes. So do you get what I'm trying to get to? Is like there's still a trend of quarterbacks who come and they go. They had potential, but in reality, they didn't have the NFL potential. And they might have got a couple other chances, but in reality, they just weren't what we thought. And I think that's something that's going on in the league right now is a lot of people were giving up on and they go and have great careers. The other ones, they're probably car salesmen like us, right? Like they're everyday regular Americans because that level was just not for them. So I think there's a balance to it, and I wanted to counteract exactly what you said. I do think that quarterbacks get given up on way too early. I don't know what if Bryce Young moves on, hopefully he pulls everything together and pulls this back around. If Bryce Young moves on, what are the chances of him going on to be like, oh, year 5 and year 6, it clicked compared to,
Well,
yeah, I remember that guy. He was really good in college, had a rough time in the league.
but imagine if Bryce Young goes and, like everybody else, he goes and becomes a backup quarterback on a good team, like a backup quarterback for the Niners, and
Yeah.
then in his next stop, he's balling. Like that could happen too.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of outcomes. I just wanted to highlight it because it's not fair, but life's not fair. And I just see certain personalities where it works and others it don't. And for some people, you're like, damn, I wish it would have worked for him though. But anyways, shout out to Baker Mayfield because he made it work. Never gave up. I remember Baker Mayfield on the Browns, right? Like you remember that. You remember when he was at Carolina, you're like, okay, he could play. And then he goes to the Bucks after Tom Brady, and you're like, that looks like the kid from college. That boy out there nice. He's out there cool. Real quick, L Boogie, we got the Bengals versus the Packers. The Packers take that one. I don't got much with this without a Joe Burrow. Joe Flacco, congratulations. You went over them and did the same average shit that you are capable of doing, but nothing spectacular. You got anything with this? Shout out Josh Jacobs.
Yep, Josh Jacobs, monster game. Yeah, with Joe Flacco, I mean, I think it made a lot of sense for the Bengals to go get him because what he did was he cleaned up a lot of the things that Jake Browning couldn't. No interceptions for Joe Flacco. Obviously, nothing flashy, but he was able to connect with Jamar Chase. The game was close, a winnable game against a solid team. This gives the Bengals team, the Bengals players hope that they can actually rebound this season instead of marching out Jake Brown and go throw 3 picks again. So I think this was the right move. I think the Bengals will win more games now because of this move, but will it be enough to keep them relevant? I don't think so.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't got nothing with the Bengals. They're not relevant to me. Green Bay, I still think Green Bay is a Super Bowl contender. I think they're still a Super Bowl contender. Keep going. What did my guy do? We haven't really heard too much noise from him. He had one ridiculous play early in the season. Where's he at? Packers. My guy. Just 3 tackles for Michael Parsons. Quiet game. All right, El Boogie, we got some predictions coming up. We got the Lions and Chiefs on Monday. Tonight? That's the treat we get tonight? What?
Yeah.
I get to watch the Lions versus the Chiefs at 6:20 in Kansas City while I'm editing El Boogie and the Bell. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah.
El Boogie, what do you think? Do you think the Chiefs could win any game? I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if they suck. And the Lions, they come to play.
NFL, this is a Sunday night football game. This is a Sunday night football game. Stop messing this shit up. Okay, I digress. But yeah, no, I think this will be a great game. I think this will be a high scoring game on both sides. I think both defenses haven't been great the past couple weeks, but offensively, both these teams are going to get after it. I'm pulling for the Lions. I think the Lions are gonna. I think the Lions are gonna come out with a win in a close, high scoring game.
I don't know why I'm like not for. I think it's because people hate change. I don't like the Chiefs not being a good team in the NFL, which sounds absolutely insane because we're in the AFC West with the Broncos. It just feels weird. Like it feels to say like, oh, the Chiefs fell off and Patrick Mahomes doesn't have the team necessary to make it to the Super Bowl because he's proved it time and time again. Or like a Travis Kelce's getting too old, retirement's coming up, receiver core is off. The defense that they built into a monster is starting to decay a little bit. Like it feels weird to say all of those things. I don't want the Chiefs to win, but if the Chiefs do win, I think this is the type of game I would want them to win at Arrowhead, beat a good Lions team, Patrick Mahomes pull out some hat tricks. I want to see that happen, but I do think the Lions edge them out by probably like 10 points. I could see it late in the game. They're making their final push, and we have a 35 to something stupid, 32 to 42. You know what I mean? This is just how this game is going to go. I think it's going to be very, very exciting. Yeah, man, I got the Lions winning this game. It's going to feel weird seeing a Chiefs team that starts the season 2-4. If the Chiefs win this game, it will be in spectacular fashion. We're in for a good one. Let's say that, to say the least. And then moving into our Monday Night Football game, El Boogie, your prediction on, let's see who we got. We got the Bears versus the Commanders. I think this should be a pretty easy pick. I have the Commanders.
Yeah, I'll go with the Commanders until I see consistent offensive production from the Bears. I'm not picking them to win any games unless they're playing a really bad team. So yeah, I'll take the Commanders there. We also got bonus Monday night game, Bills at Falcons. I do have the Bills having a resurgence after losing a close one to the Patriots. Falcons, I can't really tell what the hell they are. Bills, I know they're a good team, so I'm going with a good team.
What game did I miss? The Falcons? Oh, wow, there are two tomorrow.
There's two.
They're still doing twos? When do they stop that? You think they're going to keep that trend?
I don't know. Well, keep in mind, I don't know why they did it this week. They only had 3 games in the afternoon slot today. So I don't know why they made that choice, but yeah, extra Monday night game, extra bonus. Maybe there's something to do with like basketball or baseball coverage or something. I don't know.
This is the last double Monday Night Football game I've seen. Usually they start with like the first 3 weeks, maybe 2 until bye weeks start kicking in. But hey, I guess we get 2 games.
Oh,
tomorrow.
next week we got 2. We got 2 next week as well.
Oh well, shit. Well, I don't know. All right, El Boogie, let's move right into college football. You know, we kind of freestyled this one. I just want to give some light to the CU Buffs. I actually watched the game. I watched probably the second half or third and fourth quarter. I really like their team. I do like their team. I've watched probably 3 CU games, and it is hard adjusting to that Big Ten football and a level of football. You've seen a lot of teams resurge this year from having an off year last year, like a Texas Tech. They're playing good football. I don't want people to think that they're not. BYU is ranked 15. They were competing right there with BYU. And the real reason I feel CU won this football game, and I honestly believe it, the reason the CU won this football game is because they are a good team. They have a new quarterback. And I don't think he has another opportunity to do this. I just think it took him some time to get his legs under him. I see them having a good rest of the year. Some very high energy wins at home. It should have beat BYU, and they would be back in good conversations. We see a team like Houston that's going off and still doing great things. They have a tough schedule ahead of them. I just wanted to shine some light on the Buffs. I think that they pulled through for their coach, Deion Sanders, the mogul, who obviously has surgery during the week. When your coach gives you his all and you guys have some tough losses. It's pretty important to get some tough wins. So we're so invested emotionally into their team that it was a really good thing to see them actually go out there and win for their coach, and of course win for their program and all that Boulder shit. What else you got on college football?
Man, shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers, man, winning a crazy game against Oregon at Oregon. Yeah, Indiana's the truth, man. Indiana is, I think, surprising a lot of people. They're 6-0. This game against Oregon was the toughest game on their schedule. I think they have a real path to finishing the regular season at 12-0 and then going to the Big Ten championship against Ohio State. So I think this Indiana team is deserving a lot of attention right now.
And I just want to say I need to stop saying that the Buffs are in the Big Ten. They are in the Big 12. I keep mixing those up. I get I know the difference between the Big 10 and Big 12. Everybody, I know I get names wrong a lot, but I do know the difference. I just actually made a mistake. L Boogie, I have a question for you. Are Ohio State fakers? Because I didn't see their schedule was set up so perfect for them to not have any ridiculous competition. Their biggest game of this season was against Texas, and they won 14-7. Their next biggest game of the season will be against not Penn State no more because Penn State fell off. I think Michigan just kind of fell off. They don't have one ranked opponent left. They do play Penn State. They do play Michigan. Who else have they played this year besides Texas that's really, really in the running? Oh, they did. Nope. Yeah. Like, I just don't think that they're getting the experience that Indiana has. I think Indiana is going to be more weighty.
Well. Okay, Indiana, yes, they did just beat Oregon, but before that Oregon game, they didn't have to really play anybody. So they also got credit for a pancake kind of start to the season as well. So let's not poo-poo on Ohio State when Indiana's in the same situation. But also Ohio State set their schedule. When they set their schedule at the beginning of the season, this looked like a tough schedule. We expected Michigan to be better than Michigan is. We expected Penn State to be better than Penn State is. So those are, and Texas, of course, we think, oh, Texas is going to win the SEC before the season starts. So that's 3 tough games against 3 potential playoff teams. And now here we are halfway through the season, and those teams are not as good as we thought. That's not Ohio State's fault. So I can't say that they're pretenders. I can't say that they're fakers. If they run the table and they're going to probably meet Indiana in the Big Ten and then they beat Indiana, that's Ohio State just being what we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say whoever wins their championship is going to make the deep playoff run. But I think whoever wins the championship, they might have to turn around and play each other right in the playoffs. One person might ruin the other person's chances in the playoffs, and one could turn into 16. I know they're doing it funky. You get a bye week this year, right? Or is it 4 straight games?
No, you get a bye week. Yeah,
okay.
the top first 4 seeds get a bye.
I guarantee Indiana and Ohio State, if they remain the top, they're going to see each other twice. They're going to see each other in a championship game, and they're going to see each other in a playoff game. I highly doubt they'll see each other in a championship game. Didn't we have Georgia and Auburn do that during the playoffs? Which is crazy. Like Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah,
and then they played in the SEC championship and then played in the championship in the game. Like, it literally flipped. I think we could see that with Indiana and Ohio State. I think they'll probably just play each other in the playoffs. But yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. I don't think either of them are fakers. I just hate Ohio State. I hate how it doesn't feel like Ohio State has really met, like, oh, shit. Like, we got to come on, like, our best to be able to make it to the championship. They just haven't had that experience this year to me. Who else you got? Any highlights?
Oh, Texas got a win. Good for them. Arch Manning had a decent game. Still not completely sold on them. It's honestly, when you look at the top of these conferences, it looks very weird. Like seeing Texas A&M and Ole Miss at the top of the SEC. Like, what is this? 2012, 2014?
Seeing Texas Tech at the top. Texas Tech and BYU are sitting at the top of the Big 12.
So it looks so weird. Big 12, BYU's crazy. ACC, Georgia Tech. I really don't know how the hell Georgia Tech is doing what they're doing, but I'm happy for them. They're doing good, and obviously Miami's looking like a solid team as well. So I think we have some. I think there's like a good distribution of really good teams throughout all these conferences. I think the Big Ten is probably the best conference right now, but
I honestly believe
I like the distribution.
Georgia Tech finishes the season 12-0. And when I say that, I mean number 12 ranked number 12 ranked Georgia Tech beats Georgia at home to make it to the playoffs. Absolutely.
Georgia
Do they
Tech
knock
beat-
Georgia out of the playoffs? That's what the game's going to be about, is who knocks who out of the playoffs. They both have the opportunity to knock each team out the playoffs. I don't think Georgia goes under 9 for the rest of the season. I think that they're going to be pretty lucked at the 9 slot. If Georgia Tech,
I mean, if they win
whoever
out,
wins, makes the playoffs. Huh?
If Georgia has an opportunity to really turn the course of their season around next week. Next week. They play against Ole Miss. You beat Ole Miss, you're back in the top 6. You win that game, you are back in the top 6.
The SEC is a mug, ain't it?
So and they have Texas, and I think even if Georgia won out but lost to Georgia Tech, they're still in the playoffs.
I think Georgia's going to lose one of the next 3. Which isn't too crazy. Or excuse
me,
one of the next 4.
Mississippi.
So I don't think Florida's a bad team. I just think that they've had some weird hiccups, but they've had big teams to let them know that they weren't a bad team. They had hiccups. Ole Miss could easily beat Georgia. Easily being a strong word. I'm saying it's going to be a good game. Mississippi State, probably not going to happen. Texas, if that's Texas's one upset this season to miss the playoffs, I like it. Charlotte, I don't even know why that's on the schedule. Georgia versus Georgia Tech. I believe Georgia Tech's going to beat them this year to get into the playoffs. Not reign dominance over Georgia for like the next 5 years, but I think that makes them real big players as they go into NIL, recruiting college to college. Absolutely. I think Georgia Tech's going to be a huge player, being that they're located in downtown Atlanta with a great program, a lot of money, and we just defeated Georgia and kicked them out of the playoffs.
Well, you could also argue that Georgia Tech hasn't been tested yet.
Don't do that.
You see,
don't do that.
But my thing is, they're in that same scenario where we haven't really seen them take on a challenge
all year.
Okay,
Colorado,
before the season,
Clemson,
shut up, shut up with Colorado. Clemson, bro.
Virginia Tech's a decent squad.
Please, no. It's okay that they are 6-0 and they haven't had. It's okay that they are 6-0 and they haven't had a crazy challenge yet. They beat Clemson, who we now know that Clemson's not a good team. It's okay. It's fine. When they play against Georgia, that'll give us our gauge. Okay, is Georgia Tech just a good team, potential conference winner, or are they a really good team, potential national championship winner? That game will give us an indication of what category they fall into. But right now, they're having a great season. They will continue to have a great season. We'll see what happens. But they haven't really beaten anybody.
I want Georgia Tech to make the playoffs.
You guys are not going to make the playoffs. They will. Even if
you lose to Georgia. If they lose to Georgia, they're out. It's all
money.
Why would they
be out? 11-1. They're in their conference championship. I think even if they go 11-2, so they lose their conference championship and they lose to Georgia, I think Georgia Tech is still in. They're still in at 10 or 11.
Did Miami win, or they had a bye?
Miami. I think they had a bye this week.
Right, I think I'm pretty good there. Oh, Nebraska's top 25. Good for on this poll. Yeah, I'm good. Alabama's still staying strong. Notre Dame doing their little resurgence. All right, cool. Let's do this. All right, El Boogie, you wanted to talk about it. Give me your last couple minutes on the NBA and what's going on with it.
NBA right now, we're preparing for the season, looking at preseason, getting a look at a lot of the rookies. This week we got hoodwinked into thinking LeBron James was going to announce his retirement. Did you not see that?
I heard he got sued.
Or yeah, some guy is suing him because he bought expensive Lakers tickets.
Like what? I didn't know what that was about.
The way it was framed, man, he's like, all right, tune in 9 a.m. tomorrow. I got a major decision. It's been a long time coming. Man, everybody was, LeBron's going to announce this is it. And then it's just a Hennessy commercial. Like literally just a Hennessy commercial. It's kind of crazy.
That was crazy.
But yeah, we're just a couple of weeks from seeing regular season basketball tip off. I'm excited for the season. I think we have a couple teams that we saw later last season that won't look the same, particularly the Celtics and the Pacers, since Tatum and Halliburton are out with Achilles injuries. But we'll see what happens.
All right, I got 2 questions before we get out of here for the day. What do you think the NBA does this year to combat low viewership or interest in the league? Honestly, feelings, no facts.
As we are seeing a lot of our aging stars reaching the end of their careers, we only got a handful of seasons for faces like Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. They're not going to be around forever. I think the league needs to really put a lot of attention on the rookies, the up and coming rookies, making sure that rookies are highlighted so that these new set of players become household names. I think that needs to be important, a very important emphasis for the league this year. And yeah, I mean, I have a lot of issues with how they've handled all of their streaming rights, TV rights. I think they've made it very hard to be a fan of the NBA from a financial point of view, but something to make things more accessible to their fandom, because right now things are looking bleak.
Yeah. All right. Here's my couple of things. I think NBA on TNT switching over to ESPN. So we are going to see Shaq, Ernie, and all them again. Good to see that the crew stuck together. I think that brings excitement to the older crowd and the older generation of basketball. The big thing, mark my words, this is my conspiracy, that as men, we grow up and we mature and we age better and we make better decisions. My first example of that is Zion Williamson. I say Zion Williamson steps into a star's role, a team leader, leads in something. I don't know what he's going to lead in, but he's going to lead in something. I see Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets being the same boring team that they always are, a very Spurs-like team, and actually making it to the finals. So they're not going to bring as much attention to the league, but them owning the idea of that Spurs consistency, nothing too crazy. We're just a great team. Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, what's his name? He has a new place to play. Jalen Green. I see like that generation of talent stepping into the star role as we get ready for the exit of Curry, LeBron, anybody who's on that level. I see they're going to be mature men, just like when Steph became a champion, LeBron became consistent at going to finals. I see those guys stepping into that role and saving the NBA as those guys exit. But you need one key factor to that. You need an enforcer. NBA needs a new bad guy. And what was the guy who used to play for the Rockets? He was trying to be one. He didn't really convert over.
Oh,
He
Dylan
told
Brooks?
LeBron to give him. Yes, he was close.
Dylan
He
Brooks.
just did it too early, and he was never as good as Draymond Green. This year, 2026 season, they're going to establish a new enforcer. There's going to be a brand new NBA enforcer who is going to be the Dennis Rodman, the Ron Artest, the Draymond Green. Dylan Brooks was close. He just doesn't have that star power. He didn't have that it factor. Rasheed Wallace. I'm talking about a dog. You feel me? There's going to be one player who is going to be that person on a team. Even Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly, he doesn't get nearly as much credit for as much attention he really did drag to his team. Nobody's a Patrick Beverly fan, but you tell me how many people didn't know who Patrick Beverly was. You know what I mean? We need somebody to establish themselves from the younger generation this year. I think that's how the NBA is going to save itself. Zion, Ja, Jalen, and any other guys who's in that mix, they're going to establish themselves as superstars this year. We're going to start letting go Kyrie's, Steph, LeBron. We're going to let go of those guys go. And we need one enforcer that makes us turn our TVs on, or somebody who goes viral like Draymond does, who like, damn, I can't believe he got away with that shit. And oh my God, this guy's insane. Wow, I kind of want to see him play. That's what the next generation needs, and that's how you save viewership. As far as the business side, I'm going to leave that to the businessman because I don't understand the production deals of the NBA. I would only hope that with their billion-dollar company that they're doing things that align with what brings people in. That's all I got. My second question, L Boogie, before we get out of here. Your early super contenders. I'm talking top 4 teams. You don't got to get into them too much. Who are your top 4 teams going into the scene? 2 from each conference.
2 from each conference. All
You're
right.
1 and
That's
2. Who's winning this chip?
My 1 and my 2. All right, that's a tough question. This year, I'm a believer in the Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers are going to right this ship. They've been a solid team for a while, but I think this is their year to really be big dogs in the East. And for some reason, this is actually going to sound crazy, but for some reason, I really like the Magic. I feel like the Magic have been a fringe team for a while. I like the Magic. That's in the East. And then West, obviously, I'm sticking with the Thunder. Young team, bringing back everybody. They're going to be tough to deal with. Obviously, the Nuggets fan in me wants to say the Nuggets, but I think this is kind of tough. I think the Mavs. I think the Mavs are going to be, coming back healthy, coming back with a solid team. I like the Mavs.
Not enough health is what I'll say for the Mavs. I like the Mavs, just not enough health. You gave the East, you said the Cavs and the Magic, and then you said
the Magic.
And then who was your West?
The Thunder and the Mavs.
Really? Over the Nuggets?
No. The Nuggets fan in me wants to say the Nuggets. I do.
But your 1 and 2 is the Mavs and the OKC.
My thing with the Nuggets, man, is I feel like we haven't I feel like we haven't added anything to the roster to make us any better than last year. I think they're still going to be a good team. They're still going to make a run. They're still going to be contenders. But what did we do in the offseason to make a difference? What did we do?
You replace Michael Porter Jr. with somebody who's more consistent and could do the same thing as Michael Porter Jr., who will shoot less threes and drive a lot more, and who probably has better vision. You have a backup center for Jokic to take 3 to 4 more minutes off of each and every game for an 82-game season, including in the playoffs. I'm not saying he's going to be finishing games, but I'm saying if you need a goddamn rebound in the fourth quarter, Valanciunas will definitely be able to do that. You bring back Bruce Brown. I don't know if he's going to be good because it's been 3 years.
Wasn't Bruce Brown on the team last year?
No, Bruce Brown's right back this season. Yeah, so Bruce Brown comes back. We have Russell Westbrook. You think Russell Westbrook will be playing if we have Bruce Brown? Bruce Brown's going to play Russell Westbrook's role 2 times better. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying he's playing at the same level because obviously he went off to go get some money and did not produce on other teams, but it's because they wanted a better role out of him. I think he understands exactly what the Nuggets want out of him. He's going to do exactly what the Nuggets want out of him because he was expected to do so much more on other teams. Now he gets to come back to this role after seeing how freaking hard it is to go play those roles, where he's about to make millions of dollars for playing his best version of himself on a team that got better since the last time he's been here. Come on, dog. Nuggets, I got number 1. OKC, I got number 2. Headed over to the East, I wish I could say the Celtics. I still think they're a good team, but they're literally my number 3. So they're not too far off. I want to say the Celtics without Jason Tatum.
Without Jason Tatum?
But they're still a good team. They're a good team.
Yeah, good team, yes, but a 1 or 2 seed?
You know, the Pacers are gone. You know, the Cavs really are a good team that now they will figure it out. I got the Cavs at 1, and I got the New York Knickerbockers at number 2. I think this is the Knicks' absolute best chance to win it. The only reason the Knicks don't win is that they lose to a team like the Cavaliers through the playoffs. That's it. That's all I got. But I do really, really want the Hawks to do something. I think that they have a decent roster. It's tough to win with like a 6-foot point guard who's just your big honcho. But they got Porzingis, so they really did get some good pickups. They have a decent team to me. They're just not they could easily be the sleeper team that makes it into the conference championship. I don't want people to sleep on the Hawks. I don't think it'd be worth sleeping on them. You got anything else, Elboog?
Nah, we'll see, man. Only a couple weeks away from that regular season tip-off.
Absolutely. Go ahead and take us out then, El Boogie.
Hey, once again, we appreciate y'all tuning in to Boogie the Bell. Check out the full video on YouTube. Make sure you see check out our clips on TikTok. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow us. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know where we're right. Let us know where we're wrong. And we'll look forward to bringing y'all more sports content next week.
Peace. I like the way the East